That high ground card spoiler was pretty nice this week. Liking the look of some of this stuff. Very nice. Maybe, if we're lucky, and if you're lucky, we'll have a spoiler on this very channel for a card. Xander, if you're watching this, you know how to reach me. Hello and welcome everybody to the latest episode of the weekly results videos for Unlimited Power TCG and our UK focused events breakdown and results videos. But first, a very quick spin through the major upcoming UK event calendar, and I'm going to try not to say as often as I did when I was watching myself going back through last week's episode, so we shall see how that goes. We're right in the middle of the Store Showdown season for Set 2 Shadows of the Galaxy. We've got, I think, 6 events to go through, maybe 7 events to go through with you on this video here. At the tail end of September, in 2 weeks from now, we got 2 1K one-day GT events being run by UKTC, the UK Tournament Circuit, who did an amazing event in Leicester the other week. These are the UK Store Showdowns. These dates are not final. I've got to set it straight away. I caught myself. Little blue. So these dates may have been changed by the venues themselves. These were accurate as of time of publication by Ollie the Asmodee guy McAllister. So keep your eyes on these, and if you want to go to any of these events, then do check with the venue and make sure they haven't rescheduled. So that will be a good one. I will be at Spellbound in London on Saturday 21st of September, so if you're going to be there, I look forward to seeing you there. I will also be at Boards and Swords Hobbies in Derby on Saturday the 28th of September. Again, I look forward to seeing you there if you're going to be there. And also on Thursday the 3rd of October at the Games Den in Leamington. So, yeah, there we go. Following that, we've got the Planetary Qualifiers. One in Patriot Games in Sheffield, one at Firestorm Games in Cardiff, which, once again, I will be at that particular event. And one at Mox in the Hole in Edinburgh. The contents of the Planetary Qualifier prize kits have yet to be revealed, but they will be done so in 3 or 4 days' time from the time of filming this episode. So if you're not keyed in and subscribed to the Fantasy Flight Games official YouTube channel, do so. I'm hoping, expecting might be too strong a word, but definitely hoping there's going to be some cool stuff in those prize kits. Holidays 2024 is the date that we've been given for the Set 1 Spark of Rebellion reprint and restock for the massive amounts of stuff. So you've been waiting for your Lukes, 7-drop Lukes, best legendary in the game, as many people say. I say many people, a few key people at the very least say it. Your Vaders, your Boba Fett's, all the legendaries that you've not been able to get hold of from Set 1 might be more acquirable, readily available at the very least, following the availability of the reprint and the restock. And then we're going into the release of Twilight of the Republic Set 3 at the start of November. Then another 8 weeks of casual weekly play, followed by the Store Showdown season and maybe some more Planetary Qualifiers, from what I'm given to understand of the plan for these things. But we've had a number of Store Showdowns this weekend. I've got results and bits and breakdowns for 7 of them. Thank you very much for everybody who's reached out and provided me with the information that you have done for these events to help illuminate and educate your fellow gamers in the UK, and also to shout out some of the names of the winners and people who've done well for the names that have been provided to me. First one we've got on Thursday the 12th of September, Distinct Gaming in Belper, which I had no idea where it was and had to look it up. It was like a little bit north of Derby and Nottingham, that sort of general area. So there are a few faces that I recognised in the photographs for this event going around there, including some of the people I'll probably see at Boards and Swords in a few weeks' time, and will kick my ass, which will be great fun, I'm sure. First place was a Han Cunning deck. Second, Grand Inquisitor, running Security Complex. I'd be interested to see a deck list for that, if there's one kicking around somewhere. Not sure who ran that. Sabine Command took third, almost certainly Sabine ECL, but that wasn't given to me, so I couldn't say that for sure. Fourth place, Luke Green. Luke making his first entry into the top 8s and winning decks that we've seen so far for Set 2, so grats to whoever piloted that, well done. And then we've got Sabine Green, Chirrut Red, Boba Green and Vader Green rounding out 5th to 8th place from Distinct Gaming in Belper. Following that one, on Friday 13th, Ludaquist in Croydon ran. They had 17 players. First place was taken by a CAD Red deck, which is beginning to get a little bit of press in and around the internet, so keep your eyes open on that one. We're expecting some interesting things from that. Then there was a Afra Green deck, which I saw was mentioned as having placed in the top 4 by Yeho Serra, or Josh. You may know him from previous episodes. He went 11-0 at the 2-day OP Manchester event with his 54-card Boba Green deck that caused KTOD some consternation as they went 50. So I found his deck list on the interwebs as he posted about it on his Facebook blog. There will be a link to that in the video description below. I thought this looked very interesting because we got an Afra in there, so that's kind of cool. And this is also Afra 54 cards. I have no idea how this is going to get played. I could probably take it apart and try and figure it out, but frankly, if you want to figure it out a little bit quicker, go and have a look at Josh's link, the Yeho Serra Facebook blog in the video description below, and go and engage with him. So yeah, that'd be cool. Next up, the Gaming Den in Basingstoke ran their Store Showdown on Saturday the 14th. Yesterday, as of time of filming, they had 12 players. First place was a Palpatine yellow deck, and second would have been one assumes relatively classic Sabine ECL deck. Also on Saturday, we had Alpha Games in Hepworth, which was another place I had no idea where that was until I googled that and found out it's somewhere out in the east of England, south of Norfolk, out in the same geographical area as the Alliance Dispatch guys went to and reported from last week. But if you're attending Store Showdown in Athena Games in Norfolk, whenever that's happening soon, maybe keep your eyes open for that one. First place, Bosk ECL, taken down by Jamie Stone. Congratulations. Second place, Harm 2 Blue, continuing its strong showings. Both Bosk and Harm 2 continue to make their frequencies of winning games more and more frequent. Well done, Owen, for taking that second place, the Harm 2 Blue. Third, Sabine ECL, Michael Spearman of the Alliance Dispatch. Fourth place, Sabine ECL by Phil Hunter. And then 5th to 8th place was rounded up by a Boba Red deck by Stephen of the Alliance Dispatch, who was very kind enough to provide me the results for this event. And I've got a deck list for this because I thought, Boba Red, that looks interesting. Let's see if we can get hold of that. And we'll show that to you in a moment. Vader ECL. Nice to see Vader making an entrance into the Set 2 winning lists the same sort of week as Luke does as well, which I'm sure has a little bit of symmetry to it. Bosk Blue, from a standing start last week, becoming more and more prevalent as the weeks go on now. Well done, Mark Humphreys, for piloting that one. And Boba Mono Yellow, run by Danny Adlam in the Alliance Dispatch. So congrats to everybody in there. Well done indeed. This is the Boba Red deck that Stephen took to the Alpha Games. That was Alpha Games, yep, Alpha Games. This is basically all spaceships. I found myself thinking, there's all spaceships in here. Who's Boba Fett's armor going to go on? Silly question, obviously. But it's interesting that Boba's going to be the only ground-based unit in this deck until or after sideboarding, so that's kind of cool. I imagine it's predicated on Triple Dark Raid, but then again, there's only 2 units in here that are going to massively benefit from the discount Triple Dark Raid, being Ruthless Raider and Fett's Fire Spray. But then again, playing the others and coming in ready gives it a nice bit of reach that a deck wouldn't have had otherwise. Outmaneuver in there, bombing run in the sideboard makes perfect sense. Fennec and Palps in the sideboard for a little bit of late game ground-based power. 1 Daring Raid, 3/4 strokes. Armed to the Teeth is of course an upgrade that can go on vehicles, so very interesting deck. Very interesting low to the ground deck as well. I imagine that he's aiming for an aggro approach with a lot of the lower cost units in here. No 5 drops, so he'd be looking to Boba Fett's armor, maybe and a 3 power unit or combination of stuff. Yeah, cool. Well done. Congrats, Stephen. Well done. Interesting deck. Right, moving on. Alchemist's Workshop in Winsford held their Store Showdown on Sunday 15th September. They had 16 players. It was taken down by the Palpatine Blue deck of Howie Williams, who ran second place at the 2-day OP Manchester event a couple of weeks ago. Congratulations, Howie. Second place, another Bosk Vigilance deck, making its impact felt in the meta more and more. Third place, Boba Cunning, and fourth place, Palpatine Command. So that is a thing. Next up, our penultimate event that we're covering in this episode is Jesters in Stockport. They had their store showdown with 18 players taken down by a Han 2 ECL aggro deck. I can only assume that's a Mazkanata aggro archetype that I first saw at Leicester when Big O Notation played it against me. Second was Kira Command, which we have not seen in many of these Store Showdowns results for the past few weeks, so good to see it making a resurgence again, starting to grow those numbers. Third place, Han 2 Blue. Fourth, Han Cunning. Fifth, Bosk Blue. Again, another Bosk Blue after being popularised. Well, not really popularised, but just definitely having a grow in there, isn't it? Yeah. Have to work out how we're doing with those Bosk decks. I've seen Thork has done an interesting video about the Bosk control decks, about how to pilot them well and how to beat them, so I think I'll be taking a look at that after the end of filming and uploading this episode. Boba Cunning, Tarkin Cunning, assuming that's going to be the space deck that was popularised early in set 2, followed by Gar Saxon ECL. So congratulations to everybody at Jesters. And the final and biggest store showdown of the weekend was Board in the City in Southampton. They had a fairly stonking 31 players. The event was taken down by Ian Hillman running Sabine ECL. Congratulations, Ian. Very well done. Tough field there. 31 players is nothing to sneer at in any way, shape or form. Second place, Ray Tarkintown, run by Dan Craft. Third, Bosk ECL, run by Earl Donnelly. And fourth, Vader ECL, run by Simon Walters. Another Vader appearing this week. And then fifth to eighth, rounding out Boba ECL, another Bosk Vigilance deck, Boba Green, and a Cad Tarkintown. That's a deck I've got my eye on, and I'm very interested to see how that goes. Give it a whirl myself, potentially, although it's not the only deck I've got my eyes on, so we'll see how that goes. Amongst the results that we've got for all of these events here, we've also got a breakdown of the entire field, and I'm not going to go through every single one of them because there's a lot of them, and that would be a lot of talking, and you can just read the screen and take a look and see what's in the field there. Although another Afra in there is interesting. Jabber in there, Hera Monogreen, another Grand Inquisitor. Yeah, the wide array of things. Hero Boba. Ooh, interesting. You're going to have to face if you go to a Store Showdown with a sizable attendance like they got in Board in the City at Southampton. So congratulations, everybody. What does that mean for the meta going into the final weeks of the Store Showdowns for Set 2, then going into the Planetary Qualifiers? This slide here represents 62% of the meta of the top 8, top 4, the top performing decks. This is not the entire field. These are the ones who place in the top quarter-ish of performing decks for the events for which I've got the results. Sabine edging ahead of Boba Cunning because clearly Sabine is a thoughtless deck with no decision lines whatsoever. It's dead easy to play. There's no problems with it. You just slam stuff down and you win. That's exactly how Sabine plays. So obviously that's now why it's the most represented. I can't keep this up. Boba Mono Yellow, Boba Green ranking up there as well. Han 2 Blue continuing to keep up. Bosk keeping up, and Kira up there making up that 62%. And then the remaining 38% of the meta is made up by this mass of huge variety of things, which I love seeing. There's so much variety, so many interesting things that could be played there. Bosk Vigilance definitely making its mark. Palp Blue, a force to be reckoned with. The Han's definitely powerful in there, but you're still seeing a lot more other random things in here. Vaders, Landos, Lukes, Afras, Cads, Gars, Grand Inquisitors. Yeah. So this is not everything you're going to have to face if you're going to a Store Showdown, but it is stuff that you're going to have to be prepared to beat, because people are playing these decks in their local metas with at least a small degree of travelling and doing fairly well with them. So There we go. Thanks very much for tuning in and watching. As always, do the likey, subscribey, sharey thing, commenty thing. Tell us what Store Showdowns you're going to be going to. And I'll look forward to seeing you, hopefully, at one of those events, if not in the future. Cheers for tuning in. Thanks very much.